stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, everybody, and welcome into the Night Shift Racing League. My name is James Rollins here, bringing you a perfect start to your lunch hour here with the Midday Racing League. Here at Daytona, we're in the Xfinity cars. It's going to be a blast. Hopefully, we can get some really good racing. I know these guys are good for it. It's the start of the Xfinity season here at Daytona. It is not round 3 at Richmond. It's not Thunderclap. I do very much go fix that. Fix that. But hope you're having a good day here. A really good lunch. Lunch hour. Hopefully you got something really good to fill your belly while you watch some amazing racing action here from the Midday Racing League, formerly the iRacing Night Shift Racing League. I know it's going to be a blast. I'm going to have a blast calling this one for you. But qualifying is over. Everybody ready? Everybody ready to start here as we're going to get going. We're waiting on one driver. Of course, that's me. So give me one moment here. But going away, here we are doing 80 laps. No stage caution. It is the Xfinity starter here. Like I said earlier, 77 degrees, 80-degree temperature here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Wish I could be there. Hopefully it is going to be that way in Miami in a couple weeks. So Josh Conover is going to start us off with the fastest lap of the qualifying session. Go ahead and go over and some of these drivers here. We're starting in first, going to be Josh Conover. And then we got Dave Hunt in that beautiful 53 machine. Christian Roos starting in third with Dave Regal on his outside. Then we have Mike Hamlin in row number 3. Outside of him is going to be Gino Marlowe. Here we go. Row number 4 is going to be Justin Rodden and Nick Gallius. Then we have Craig Davidson in the 9 and Chris Papa up there in the 13 machine. Adam Bowden in the 83. Sky McGurk there in that beautiful 3 throwback. This is number 15 up there, so don't worry about that. And then the 10 of Don Day. Going to be rounding us out here for this 80-lap race here at the Daytona Motor Speedway. As always, guys, be sure and cheer out whoever you got, who you're here to watch. We do keep an eye on that chat, and I want to see who you guys are watching so that I can do a better job of getting those drivers on the air. Also, be sure that you hit that like button. That helps us out by getting this in front of more people. So we'll see. There's Chris Otto is in the 7 machine. So let's do some fixing here. They're getting ready. We go. Green flag is out. Josh Conover going to lead him around here for the first lap at the Xfinity Series opener of the Midday Racing League. So far, so good. Everybody getting rolling here. Dave Hunt staying to that outside. Christian Roos on the inside. Dave Regal falling back on the outside, but it's not going to be hard to get back up here as these Xfinity cars are quick here, ladies and gentlemen. They are blast to run around. They can push a little bit better, so see those two grooves really kind of working together. And then that side draft is also going to be very important. So, oh, down goes the 53. It's a big push by the 21 and decides to take the momentum down to the bottom line. Going to leave Dave Regal all on his own some up top. He's going to have to get some help here soon. 28 of Mike Hamlin trying to stay up there with him as they got huge damage in the rear of that 21 from that checkup. Whenever the 53 of Hunt went down, caused a major checkup. As we got drivers bowing out here, getting below that yellow line, signifying, hey, I don't want it. As the 28 pushes the 21, huge push in these Xfinity cars. Hopefully he's going to clear. He is not. But making friends for sure. That 28 of Mike Hamlin did not get past him, did not want to force him 3 wide. He figures, hey, the best route forward here is to try and push you to the lead as we can all get a little bit better here. But Dave Hunt kind of took control of this. Christian Roos very content just to push Dave Hunt. But 80 laps here, no fast repairs, no stage breaks. It's going to go as long as it needs to keep everybody honest here. As everybody pretty content right now, everybody in the draft, I don't think anyone's lost it. Maybe this 3 of Sky McGurk, but other than that, nobody hurt right now. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let me know who you're here to watch on the Midday Racing League, as well as share this out to your buddies if they want to watch some racing action here to start your day. We are live September 20th here in the Central Time Zone. It is 11:12 a.m. So you are watching live racing from the Midday Racing League happening right now at Daytona Motor Speedway. Dave Regal trying to make the most advantage out of being on that outside line here on lap 40 of 80. Lot to be doing here for sure as we take a look at that gearbox. Incoming push from the Camaro. Just trying to not get unsettled, and there he goes, takes the lead. He's going to bring that top line around with him. A little bit squirrely in the Xfinity car. These drivers doing their best to tame all the horsepower underneath the hood of these Chevrolets, the Ford Mustangs, and of course, look at these gorgeous machines. The Toyota Supra. Don't know how much pushing that nose is good for, but definitely a gorgeous car on the 18 Josh Conover showed us there. Dave Regal, Dave Hunt, the battle of the Daves up top. The big story is the pushers. These are going to decide who's going to win here, get to the bottom line first. It's going to be Christian Roos in that 14 machine and Mike Hamill in the 28. That's who's going to decide who is going to be the best up front. But it looks like Mike Hamlin having some heating issue. He had to pop out and get some air. He's going to drop to the bottom line. He doesn't want anything else to do with that. Regal's now going to be left all on his own on the outside, and these are not the next gen cup cars, so I don't think he's going to be able to get back up there. But we do have somebody. That's Christian Roos in the 14, that neon green and black machine you see right there. He's going to hop out in front of Dave Regal and say, hey, I'll go with you. You just got to get me pushed. And I think Dave is more than happy to do that. Take a look at this gorgeous track. More going to that top line. Get a look from our digger here as these cars are blasting by. Good shot from there. Dave Regal passing back to third. I think he's had enough up front. He wants to let everybody else go. Goal run looking a little different. Because I believe I have Matt in the booth. Matt, welcome into the Midday Racing League.
This midday rendition, if you will. I'm set, locked, ready to rock. Some plate racing going on, my favorite.
Yeah, here at Daytona, it is an absolute blast at these Xfinity cars. They can really push, get work together, and get rolling. But yeah, I like to call this my midday snack. In the Midday Racing League, usually we have our buddy across the pond broadcasting this one because it's kind of a night race for him. But here in the good old States, this is a great way to put on some racing, some live racing, and enjoy your lunch break. What do you say?
I'm fired up. I'm ready to rock. Got my coffee by my side, a little prequel to hopefully some later action tonight. I'll be working this evening too as well. So thanks for having me, James. I appreciate it. As always, we're looking racy up front for the lead right now. 8 giving a big shot to the 53, pushes him out front. But don't discount the 13 on the inside. 53 throws it down low, throwing the block. And we'll certainly see a lot of that if you want to maintain the lead this afternoon here, James.
Yeah, definitely maintaining the lead, something that a lot of these drivers are thinking about. But honestly, here in these Xfinity cars, as long as you don't fall out of that draft, like Alex Bowden in the 83, he did enter pit late. I want to see what's going on with that. Watch what happened with Adam Bowman. Possibly some mechanical issues there. He tried to let everybody get by him. And I think that just slowed him down too much, and he lost that draft. That's very unfortunate. He was trying to get into a safer place, and that 83 machine's definitely hurting for it. But up front, Dave Hunt has had this thing since Dave Regal pushed him to the lead, and he has not let go.
Dave Hunt, he is hunting out front right now, doing everything that he can to maintain that lead. The Hornet's Nest at the front of the pack right now. 3 cars hooked together on the bottom side of the racetrack. get another big shot from the 13. 53 maintains the lead for the time being. I imagine that outside line, as these laps wear on, will come into play at some point here.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're looking at lap 30 was what I saw, was when everybody's going to come down pit road if we do have a schedule, if we don't have a caution. So no stage breaks, nothing like that, no fast repairs. So drivers, hopefully I say that, drivers get out there and realize, oh man, you know, I better take care of this thing. Not that they haven't, but it's definitely on the back of your mind when you're racing up front here, getting a little squirrely. Hey, maybe I need to settle down. We got another 75 or 65 laps to go, so definitely some of those first day jitters here at the race day for Xfinity.
Yes, certainly want to take care of your equipment. Priority number one for these drivers this afternoon. The 13 car, Chris Papa, that's a person I am no stranger to. Used to work with him at a company back in Niagara Falls, New York about 10 years ago. Founder of Dirt Track Digest back in the day. Glad to see him having a strong showing so far throughout the course of these first 12 laps this evening, or this afternoon, I'm sorry.
I know Chris in a couple of the races. I believe he's in my Circle B diecast as well. So somebody who's definitely been around the service and been around real life racing throughout. Just cover the track in dirt and add jumps. I like it. Let's get these Xfinity cars over where they belong at a short course. That's what Chris Papa says. I believe it. Like it.
Well, if there's anyone that'll test the waters, I know Chris is just the man for that. As we see in the 8 car there, he got forced down below the double yellow. That is out of bounds for plate racing. Can't go down there and advance your position. Safely comes back up onto the racetrack. Dropped a couple spots, but hey, his car's in one piece. Didn't take any damage. Smart racing early on by the 8 of Chris Otto.
Yeah, definitely. And there's another one going to the back here, going below that yellow line. And it's Dave Regal actually giving him a little bit more room than he had to. The way I race, I don't know about you, Matt, but when I'm racing at Daytona or Talladega, I put my left front on that yellow line and I ride. If anybody
like
goes high.
Like slot cars back in the day.
Yep, and if they get out, if somebody gets in, pushed a little higher or pushed a little lower, well, guess what? I just got me a spot. So definitely something to keep your eye on if you're riding that bottom line. You got to be real careful about when you go for air. Make sure you're telling everybody is we got a little bit of a timing issue. But Chris Otto, now you talked about him earlier, back to 6th position. It's just riding at this point. Lap 14 of 80, everybody ticking laps, getting comfortable, finding your friends, and then deciding what the odds are for you later on in the race as Dave Regal's pushing the daylights out of 53.
Yeah, they are certainly still racy up front, but then again, it's plate racing. You mentioned these race cars here, probably one of the best in the top 3 divisions to bump, draft, and push with. Their bumpers still line up pretty well. I don't know if they're allowed to stay connected in the series or not, but you can already see on the back of some of these cars here on the racetrack, they already got a little bit of indentation, and I can only assume that's going to become more noticeable as the race wears on.
I definitely have talked about it in every race that I've covered since the new update. Those small hits over time are going to crumple those cars a little bit more over time. Kind of a hit point system for the various parts on these cars you got to watch out for. But I think with the 21, that's caved in. That happened from a checkup earlier in the race that happened in the top line when Dave was pushing, Dave Regal was pushing Dave Hunt on the top line, and Dave immediately dropped to the bottom and caused a little bit of a shakeup up front. But maybe we'll see a little bit more of that crumpling moving forward as Christian Roos is giving the bottom line a run for their money. But so far, the top line unable to capitalize.
Yeah, right now, the crazy train, if you will, 2x2 up front. You can pitch a 10 over these guys, and that's most of the time plate racing. I would think the bottom line here is they were well more formed up here, just as I was about to say that, go figure. certainly the better you can stay in line, the tighter you can pack groups of cars together in a single line. That should give you the kinetic energy needed to maintain the lead.
Yeah, but these restrictor plates, you know, they act a little bit differently than we're now ready for the modern car that we're kind of aero restricted. Because you can do that, you can kind of hook up, but that top line is not going to get the advantage unless they come down and put some air on that spoiler of those Xfinity machines. You got to get right on that quarter panel, slow that inside line down, because it's kind of even Stevens as far as speed goes. What's going to hurt you there is because that inside line, that's the shortest way around the track, so they're going to edge you out as much as you can. You got to get these real big bumps. As we see Dave Riegel go into the midline, trying to improve his lot in the top 10 here. There's not enough momentum to get it done.
Yeah, certainly. I believe what you're talking about is side draft in there, dumping all that air on the rear spoiler of that car, giving it some extra downforce, basically implying the air brake. Certainly, you got to be careful doing that. And I'll be honest with you, James, I'm not the best at it, so I try to do that far few and in between. A lot of times these plate races, I just like to go to the back, log laps, let the trends of the race unfold, and then try to make a run for it if I got something when it's 5 to go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but hey, that's plate racing. How about the 21 of David Riegel? He's silently marching his way forward. Currently his car in the second position on the bottom groove. And again, we remain 2 by 2 up front. The 53 still leading the way, carrying the torch out front. And he's doing everything he can still to maintain that lead. Understands how pivotal it is to maintain that point position. Once you maybe lose a slot or two this early on, sometimes you see some of these guys drop to the back. So look for the guys like the 53 of Dave Hunt to do everything he can to maintain that lead point right now.
Absolutely, and I will say this much, folks. If you're enjoying the race, and oh, there's the side draft. There's the side draft by the 21. Very gutsy call to get down there. I like it. But, yeah, like you were saying, the side draft, throwing down the parachute, throwing on the air brakes on that car below you, it's the difference of about a foot, whether you're side drafting or getting into that right rear quarter panel and ending both everybody's races. Especially when there's a little margin of error. You know, these aren't physical cars. They are racing over the internet, so there could be some latency. That's why some folks don't feel as comfortable. But Dave Riegel comfortable on that left rear quarter panel. He is going to get down there and get that side draft. But, folks, if you are watching over on YouTube, I appreciate the heck out of you here at the Midday Racing League Xfinity Series Round 1. Be sure to hit that like button and let me know in the chat what brought you here, whether it was a post on Facebook, whether it was these guys sharing it out, whether it just came across your feed. Let me know why you are here and who you want to see more of. We can definitely get that going for you. As Dave Hunt and Dave Riegel, again, top two, the two Daves up top. But Don Day, who's been up 11 positions to third, I believe he started dead last in that 10 Toyota, that Supra, but now he is on the back end of Dave Riegel, hoping to push his line to pass that bottom line to get a run.
Yeah, 1993, it was the Dale and Dale show. Fast forward to 2022, it's the Dave and Dave show out front right now, and they are putting on a clinic. In fact, everyone in this top 5 cars right now, they are just 2 by 2, and it's so funny. Or, you know, talking about plate racing, you know, speeds of 180 miles an hour, and still a game of inches in certain aspects of this racing, especially when it comes to the side draft. You go a little too much, and it can ruin your day and someone else's. So you certainly want to try to be careful. Well inside of 50 laps right now.
Yeah, and especially approaching that pit window of lap number 30 is what we've heard from drivers. And some of these guys up front, like Dave Hunt, he's been out front all day, so he's the gas hog. He's pushing through all that air, having to use more of that horsepower to get there. So he can't stretch it. I believe we're going to be looking at 2 stops here today, Matt.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, and you bring up a great point. That lead car out front, he's the gas hog, like you were saying, James. He's having to make the initial punch through that air, which means all these guys further on in the pack, they are having to actually have to lift and burp their throttle at some point in time. Certainly, you can't just keep your foot all the way in it. So if it comes down to a fuel mileage race, sometimes the man out front is the man out at the checkered flag.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing about where we are here at Daytona. 2.5 miles around this gorgeous track, just miles away from that Florida beach, that Daytona Beach area. If you haven't been, it is an absolute blast. Headquarters of NASCAR, by the way, is in Daytona, Florida, which is interesting. I figured they would be a little closer to North Carolina, where Charlotte is in the Hall of Fame. Both places I've been to, both amazing places. Go to the Mecca and check those things out. But here at the nighttime, this is where it really gets going. Right under the lights, you're real close to that Sonoma Raceway, where the smaller folks are getting done, and then you get to turn around and come to a night race at Daytona. It is a blast, Matt. Let's fix something real quick. All right, there we go, looking a little bit more crisp as we get rocking here. Do you have a comment? Evan Ethel says, I wish I was there. Work keeps me from running the Xfinity series. That is unfortunate. The race here is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun throughout the season. These drivers showing a lot of respect for one another out here. So a good day to join if you're looking for a league. Midday Racing League does have spots open. Come in, get in the Xfinity League. They rotate Xfinity and trucks every week about the same time. So whatever you can do to get in here and make that happen, it is absolutely worth it to get in with a group of guys and kind of improve your lot as racers. A little bit of technical issues there. But so far, so good. Dave Hunt, Dave Regal on the top of the leaderboard there. Christian Roos not too far behind. Only one driver has fallen out of the draft, and that's Adam Bowden. So that is actually very fortunate for him. If there is an incident, people have issues. So here we go. Josh Conover, Nick Galis, and Justin Rodden deciding to come down pit road. The first ones. See if that's going to bring anybody else down that top line. Going to have to work it. They're kind of working a 25-lap system. So they came in lap 25. They may stretch the next one to 55 or 60. But they are going to all try and stay together here, as hopefully they have the strategies the same, and Justin Rodden did not. He is going to suffer, as he must have had a speeding penalty entering pit road. That is absolutely killer for Justin Rodden here. Up front, Dave Regal. Still with the advantage. On that top line, he's got some help behind him of Don Day in that 10 machine. We're on the backstretch here. See if anyone else decides to come down pit road. Now nobody looking to set up. They're going to go a little bit longer. No takers this time around. Our drones working along the infield there. As we have some talking of pit, you'll see everybody kind of working to that bottom line, trying to make something happen there. Hands out the windows. They are announcing that they are going to be coming down pit road. This is what it's going to come down to. Can everybody here that's deciding to come down with these leaders, can they make it clean? So there they are, slow and steady. The 3 of Gino Morrow, Sky McGurk. I'm sorry, Sky's in that 3 car. Gino Morrow in the 16, Mike Hamlin in the 28. All deciding to come down pit road together. Hopefully no speeding penalties there. I didn't see anything that would have alluded to that. As everybody gets rolling at the same time, very similar pit stops. The only one that took a little bit longer was Gino Morrow, but spent the same amount of time on pit road. So now Sky and Morrow are going to be working together as we see kind of where you're going to line out if you decide to come down pit road. They got passed by that earlier gap. As Christian Roos now has signaled, he is going to come down pit road with the 14 or the 21 of Dave Regal. So pit road starting to open up here. Everybody working what they have to do. Letting everybody know they're coming down pit road. No surprises here. There they go, lottie-dottie, everybody, folks, deciding to come down pit road, getting these Xfinity machines woed down to the pit speed. Looks like everybody is good there. Dave Hunt's running 65. See if they're going to punt him. We don't think so, but a couple of folks driving down the left lane. Dave Regal, too far left. He's going to have to adjust big time for here. This is huge for him. Just got in the box. He's going to be, luckily he came down at one of the forward folks in this line. So I don't think he's going to be too hurt. But we shall see here. Everybody else out where they need to be. Onesies and twosies. Dave Hunt possibly too far ahead for his own good. See if he's going to be able to get up to speed in time to catch these two lightning fast drivers of Nick Gallius and Josh Conover. Two Toyotas stuck to each other's bumpers here on lap 31. They're not going to do it. Look at the run by Gallius and Josh Conover. Looks like they took right sides only when they came down last time around. Let's hope Dave Regal can get involved with somebody. He's 3 seconds away from Papa. We'll keep an eye on that. Guys, let me know in the chat. I am a regular in the truck series. I like it. Very good series there. So Gallius, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and Conover, your two leaders. They've got about a 2-second gap back to Mike Hamlin, Gino Morrow, and Sky McGurk. Then Dave Hunt, Christian Roos, and Chris Otto about to join this thing. That'll give them the much-needed snake that they're trying to look for, which is all those drivers working together, getting that momentum chugging to try and catch Conover and Nick. Dave Regal trying to get to the back of Chris Papa. It looks like Chris Papa is actually slowing down to allow Dave to catch up here as he's running about 10 seconds off pace, and Dave is flying in. Craig Davison, Chris Otto trying to work together. I'm sorry, Don Day and Craig Davison. Lap car, that is Adam Bowden, who had that issue earlier where he lost the draft and then had to come in on his own on lap 30. Luckily, he's going to be able to catch a ride here. So here's the group. Here's what's going on, folks. Nick Gallius and Josh Conover have been hooked up. Two Toyotas absolutely flying here. Then Mike Hamlin and Gino Morrow, Sky McGurk, and Dave Hunt is the second group. Then we have Christian Roos, Chris Otto, and Craig Davidson in this third group with Don Day. And then Dave Regal and Chris Papa deciding to work together to try and get a little bit more lap times, at least hoping for a little bit of a caution here to try and catch up. So here we go. As I was talking about it, Josh Conover and Nick got caught by Mike Hamlin and his group. So now they're all going to be running together. That's going to increase the odds here as the number 3 car just appeared inside the 83 machine. Having some connection issues on that. Everybody trying their best to get rolling, get teamed up with somebody, as it's kind of taken 10 or so laps to kind of form up everybody. So now grouped up, that's his bad news bears for Dave Regal and Chris Papa. They're going to be trying still to push and hook up those Chevys and the Ford to work through. I believe Chris Papa, not sure what was going on with his issue. I see he is farther back. But here we are up front, the battle for the lead. Nick Gallis is holding on with Josh Hanover, Mike Hamlin as well, as they're going to fan out and work it back. Now give the lead to Mike Hamlin on the bottom, being pushed by the 16 to Gino Morrow, with Dave Hunt and Christian Roos on the top. Oh, there goes another one. That was Adam Bowden, who is a lap car. He's saying, you know what, I'm bowing out of this one. I don't want it. If you look at lap times here, Dave Regal about a second back, but they are catching on some of these drivers. They just need to get a couple more links in that chain, or they need these guys to battle side by side so they can make it up there. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. You're not going to miss any of the action, but what we are going to do is take a break here and let you, we'll pay some bills and you can hang out as well.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that long break there. Do apologize for that. Had a little issue at home I had to deal with. Daughter got her flu shot yesterday, and she was very upset. So, appreciate you guys holding on for me. As Dave Hunt is going to be the one holding on to the lead right now. He's got the most laps led, it looks like. Gino Morrow, Mike Hamlin there in the back behind him. Let's take a look at Dave Riegel's progress with Chris Papa. Not too much there. They are falling back in a hurry, hoping for something to happen. But the way these racers have raced, we've been green flag the whole time. Broadcasters curse be darned. They're getting rocking here and rolling with lap 44 of 80. This thing about ready to be up to the second pit window. The second pit window is going to be about lap 60 because we know they can make at least 30 laps. So they're either going to come in lap 50 just to be sure they know they can make it. I'm expecting lap 55 or 60 is going to be when everybody decides to come down pit road. Tires not really a factor in the restrictor plate as much as it is the aero speed controlled cars. If you are watching here, the Midday Racing League, we appreciate the absolute heck out of you. Let us know where you're coming from. That way we can kind of get a little bit of an idea who's watching these things, who wants to see more of the Midday Racing League. Of course, here on Sim Racing Media, we have an absolute bunch of shows. Tonight's going to be Clean Racing, or I'm sorry, last night, cleanracing.net. There on a Monday. Then on Tuesday, we've got All-American Racing League, Monster Energy, NASCAR Racing League, Rick Motec Cup, and WSRL. So 5 shows on Tuesday. We've got you covered for sure here in your Tuesdays. Then, of course, on Wednesdays, we have Thunderclap, 8:30, their championship coming up soon. Ghost Xfinity as well. Sometimes whenever they want us, we go ahead and broadcast for them. If you're looking for a broadcast crew, hey, holler at us. definitely see if we can fit you in to our schedule. Upcoming shows on Thursday, Svenska iRacing Glocken. Didn't say that right, but that is our Swedish iRacing series at 2 p.m. Eastern here. Fuel is at 7:30. Then we got Sim Racer's Edge at 8. Upcoming shows on Friday, IES Super Speedway, aka the Circle B Diecast Series, and MSRL Monsters of Speed Racing League at 9:30. Saturday's a little bit different. We like to do something fun, something wild. We'll see what's going on this Saturday. If we decide to do that, we will put out a post on all of our socials, facebook.com, YouTube, and our actual website, simracingmedia.com. Check those out. Plus for some of those merch, you saw up there. Of course, ISNF Cup starts at 5 p.m. on Sunday, followed by Sunday Night NASCAR at 8:30. And that's going to round out all of our shows that we have here on Sim Racing Media. Mike Hamlin is taking over with Gino Morrow. They started in 6th and 7th, respectively. Now they're still side by side here. Dave Hunt had to move to that top line with Craig Davidson in 4th. Then we have Don Day in 5th position. He's up 9 spots so far, the hardest charger. Christian Ruse hopping to that top line. Chris Otto stuck on the bottom in 7th. Nick Giles, hope I'm saying that correctly. Josh Conover. Sky McGurk having some issues with connectivity. That's not good for him. He does lose the draft. Every time that blinking happens, he loses that speed. Dave Regal and Chris Papa about 28 seconds back, still falling a little bit. They're trying their best to work forward. A pit issue caused Dave Regal to be where he is. Came in too far left, hit a pit crew member. Unfortunately, that is NASCAR penalized him for that. And he is stuck now in 11th. Chris Papa in 12th. Then we got Adam Bowden, who is a lap down, your first lucky dog in the 83 machine. And then Justin Rodden as well. I believe he's 1 lap down more than Adam Bowman, so he's going to have to wait his turn. Oh, is the 83, 83 getting a little bit loose, getting down on that apron, getting squirrely. Let's take a look. Take a look at that again. There it is, folks. Check out the 83 here and the wheeling he has to do. As that got super loose in a hurry. Luckily, he's back. But he did fall back after that, so that's no bueno there. Again, folks, if you got the time, Midday Racing League, check them out. They're a blast to race with, especially if you work night shift or maybe that dreaded second shift. Come in here and race with these guys, get in your leagues. You don't have to skip work. Be with some good folks. Got a very active Discord. Everybody's trying to help each other out with these Xfinity machines. I believe. Let me take a look. I want to be 100% positive before I announce some stuff in here that's not true. Well, boys and girls, I don't know. I don't know if this is fixed or not. The old search results. Possibly fixed. Who knows? But Dave Regal, Chris Papa deciding to come down pit road. Dave has a little bit farther to go, trying to make a better entry this time around. And what's happening here, folks, is these guys are so far behind, they've got to take a pit cycle to try and get back up into that groove. Otherwise, trying to take advantage of that pit looked a lot better. So pit window officially open. Lap 52. Dave Regal and Chris Papa deciding to come down pit road. That's going to put them 1 lap behind, but if there is a caution, they are possibly going to get the wave around. No doubt there, as everybody else is going to have to pit. As that outside line is moving, Don Day getting pushed by Gino Morrow. Absolutely hooked up there. That Supra taking a beating. It's a top line possibly coming into itself. Oh, there goes Dave Hunt. He's not happy with the bottom. We've seen this move a couple times. He's going to hop into that top line, steal the momentum, try and get by the 9 machine, get some more laps led here. Don't blame him. Again, if you're in the chat, let us know why you're here. I want to talk to you. I want to hear about who you're watching, what you're enjoying on this beautiful lunch break. Myself, I've got a Coca-Cola Dream World, 0 sugary. It is dream flavored. I don't know what that means. So lap 54 brought to you by Dream World Coca-Cola. Drink that I paid for and I'm getting nothing for in return. Couple more drivers deciding to come down pit road. This worked good for him last time. Josh Conover and Nick Gallius came down one before the other last time and was able to take the lead for a very short time, so the short pit effectively working for them, hoping they can get back up to it. Papa and Regal trying to put down some lap times to get up to once these guys come down pit road, and hopefully something, if you're Dave Regal, Chris Papa, you're Adam Bowden, you're really hoping that something happens in this front group as they enter pit lane that is going to trigger a caution, which is very hard to get, by the way. Oh, as Nick Gallis gets possibly an unsafe entry or exit, he crossed the yellow line with the right side. We'll see if NASCAR picked it up. So we'll see. Is that beautiful? Look at that Supra. That is gorgeous. Justin Rodden in the throwback to the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra. Maybe it's Too Fast, Too Furious. I don't know my Supras very well, but definitely like that paint. Now everybody's just trying to decide when they're going to come down. Hopefully Don Day isn't stuck on the top here, because if anyone doesn't come, he is going to be in trouble. But there we go, electing not to come down there. Craig Davidson on the bottom. If you're watching, be sure to hit that like button, get this out in front of some more folks here on your lunch break. Watching live racing from the Midday Racing League. September 20th, 11:56 here Central. As another blazing, those left sides have got to be screaming. Nick Gallius and Josh Conover have not taken left sides this entire race. We're going to see if that is going to play into a factor here. Dave Regal, Chris Papa trying to come up there. Oh, is only 2 electing to come down pit road as they kind of overcooked it a little bit, but it looked like the entry's good. Bruce and Otto deciding to stay out. I took Otto's number and I joined as a driver, so I do apologize. He is the 7 machine. I believe this front line is going to decide to come down pit road here. Again, folks, you got to make it in there. You got to try best you can to avoid a speeding penalty. It's going to be a lot worse than anything else that could happen here. As long as you don't come down pit road speeding. Get woed down, use those brakes. There we go. Everybody clean so far. Everybody respecting those lines and getting where they need to. There's a little bit of a hiccup from Don Day. Davidson's in there. Otto's in there. Bruce, let's see if he decides to take lefts here. Yep, left sides are... Yep, left side getting jacked up there. So Gino Morrow, Dave Hunt, Nick Gallius, and Josh Conover have a huge advantage as they are all 6 lined out. Looks like Don Day elected not to pit there. Very interesting. Christian Roos. Look at the blimp and see where they're going to come out here. There it is. Look at that outside line coming in fast. That's Gino Morrow, Nick Gallius, and Josh Conover just past them like they're standing still. On your right, they say, as they get past Christian Roos, Chris Otto, and the 9 of Craig Davidson. Don Day trying to catch up, and then Dave Regal. Unfortunately, these folks just not their day right now, but luckily they're going to have some more options. We do have 3 green, white, checkered attempts if we need them. So hopefully we don't, but we've got them. They might need them. Green, white, checkered, what that means is that's NASCAR's version of overtime to elect a winner. So races do not end under caution. Yeah, folks, let me know in the chat who you're watching. Shout them out a little bit more. We are live on YouTube. Live right now. Unless you're watching replay. So if it's not September 20th, right at noon Central, 1 Eastern. But Chris Otto and Christian Roos just pulled their fastest laps of the race, humming into this first line. See if they can use that momentum. They caught him weird. They caught him entering turn number 1. That's not ideal if you have that momentum as an ideal place to catch that leading pack, because you can't really take advantage of it because you have to go so far up into the wall, but taking full advantage. As the 8 and the 18, 2 Toyotas, we've seen this one before, with 20 laps to go, leading them around, Nick Gallius and Josh Conover. Oh, is the 8. The 8 of Chris Otto hops up. A little bit of a net packet loss. Dave Regal, Chris Papa still trying to work together. Got about 22 seconds to catch Adam Bowden, then that will be have 3 cars. But right now, if you're Dave and Chris, you're not a lap down. You're okay. You can take your breaths here. You've got a while till this pack catches you. Just wait for something to happen. As far as where you are, you put yourself here, but definitely make something happen moving on. If there is a caution to come out. With 18 laps to go here at the Midday Racing League. So a little bit of strategy right now. And these are the worst races, but they can turn into the best if you're Chris Papa in this Ford Mustang trying to push Dave Regal up to the lead pack. You're plugging away. You're just trying to stay on the lead lap, and it's just you and one other guy trying to keep that wheel straight. But you know, if anything happens up front, you're right back in it and in a better position. As the 53 gets a little bit squirrely in the air. Dave Hunt, one of those that is not taking tires. So tires are going to be more and more effective in here, folks. There's a general consensus that tires at super speedways do not matter, that you don't have to take them. The heck with tires, some people say. But here's the deal, especially in these Xfinity cars, you don't have the aero pushing you down as much, so tires don't get as much wear and tear. But you see that wiggle as they come off these turns and try and stay in the draft. Every inch of those wiggles is going to affect the tires in these cars, and the more tread you have, the better. Whereas these guys on the bottom, Nick Gallius and Gino Morrow, or Josh Conover, I'm sorry, do not have left side tires. So every time they try and use those left sides to stop the wiggle, it's going to be a little bit worse. So keep an eye on that as well. As Gino Morrow, even Mike Hamlin, I don't believe, took tires last time around. So it is important, folks. It is important to come in here and get tires every now and then on these machines. So with 16 laps to go, we're going to go ahead and give you back to our ad section. We can make a little bit, show you all the cool stuff we've got going on, and all that neato stuff. We'll definitely work for from here.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the Midday Racing League. 13 laps to go in the season opener at Daytona for the Xfinity League. 8 to 16, all the way blowed up, trying to get something happened here. The news is, if you're a Dave Regal or Chris Papa fan, they have made it back into the lead pack. The bad news is, now they're both going to be competing for the lucky dog. So a little bit of a race within a race here as Dave Regal and Chris Papa going to be trying to stay out of trouble if there is a caution, but as well, they have to race each other to get in that position of the lucky dog. So we'll see how that is handled for these drivers. It looks like Chris Papa's already, you know what, he's betting that there's going to be a caution, so he's going to get to the back of the line to where he can avoid that. Because what's going to happen, folks, if there is a caution and you're Dave Regal in the middle of this thing, and you take any X's at all, you lose your lucky dog. So the gamble that Chris Papa's taking right now by going to the back of the field, not battling for that position, he's gambling that if there is an issue, anyone in the mid-pack is going to get caught up in it. As Dave Hunt takes over the lead from the 16 of Gino Morrow, that move we've seen so many times before, hits the speed and just comes down right in front of him, killing the momentum and taking it for himself there. As Regal fighting for his life, he knows he has to stay there to have a chance at the lucky dog, because you can't battle for who's going to be second. They touch 53 and the 9 touch, give him a little bit of a bump. He is not going to let the 9 down in front of him. He says, monkey see, monkey don't do. You're not going to pull the Dave Hunt move on Dave Hunt. Instead, you stay up in that top line. I'll stay in this bottom line leading this race with 11 laps to go. Got Gino Morrow behind him. You know he can push. Everybody behind him is the pressure's on right now. Everybody in the back of this thing. 10 laps to go. Everybody's kind of jockeying for their own position. You see Chris Otto there in the 8 machine, or in that 7 machine. He can't really figure out which way he wants to ride. As the 16 gets the run on the 53, and the 9 machine not happy about it, but he's going to push regardless. He says, you want to try and get in front of that 53 of Dave Hunt? You go right ahead. I tried it. It almost didn't end well for me. But take a look. Chris Papa now in front of Dave Regal. That's your lucky dog battle. If a caution was to come out and neither of these drivers took damage, Chris Papa now has the lucky dog, and Dave Regal thinks his pressure's on. Either that or you almost... Here's what you do if you're in this position. There's only 2 cars in the lead lap that are a lucky dog. Chris Papa's up there in the middle of the ish. You either back out of it completely, or you get up there and fight for it. That's your 2 options right now. A racer's going to race. Nobody wants to get to the back of the line, put their fate in somebody else's hands. Oh, as Dave Hunt goes below the yellow line, but he is let back up by Mike Hamlin. What a buddy. Now, keep an eye. Like I said, the 13 and the 21 are battling for lucky dog. But best case scenario, these 2 get into it together. Incident points cancel out their lucky dog, and guess what? Then Adam Bowman's going to come. Odin is going to come around and take full advantage. With 8 laps here to go at the Midday Racing League. Something to remember, folks. They're coming up at the end of their window. These tires are screaming. Some of these drivers have not taken tires this whole time around. So the wiggles are just going to get worse and worse, and it's going to affect every piece of what you've got going on. As here's the battle, the 21 and the 13, the lucky dog. Trying to keep an eye on both sides of things, as we do have the lap car that looks like Adam Bowden going another lap down is going to force these guys 3 wide. That's prime real estate for something bad to happen. It looks like everybody's going to get by, no issues there, as Dave Regal gets past the 13 for the lucky dog position. The battle within the battle, and decide who he wants to help. And hopefully, best case for both of these drivers, somebody gets in front of the leader and gets their lap back the old-fashioned way. That way, if the caution comes out and you're in front of the leader, hey, you're on the lead lap. You run that thing around until you get back to the back of the pack. And then you get to, with the lucky dog, you do not get to start in your position. You have to take the tail end of the longest line. But if you win it back the old-fashioned way, like Dave Regal's attempting to do, hey, you don't get any of that. You're going to start in your position that you earned, which is currently an 8th. Last driver on the lead lap, Nick Gallius, in that 8 machine, showing the 11. But there you have it. Inside lines falling back. Dave Regal has fallen behind Chris Papa. We have 6 laps left to go here, folks. Get on your feet, cheer out your driver. I want to know who you're rooting for. If you just got here and you don't have someone to root for, well, let me tell you who we got here. Dave Hunt from Northlake, Texas, has been the leader for the majority of this race. Mike Hamlin, the 28 from Eagle Point, has been a close second, pushing the 53. Then we got Chris Otto in the 7, whose number I stole because I entered this race as a driver as a rookie mistake. He is in 3rd place. Christian Ruse from Scio City, Indianapolis. Maybe. Indianapolis isn't a state. Idaho, probably. I don't know. Gino Morrow in the 16 machine from Sacramento. Craig Davis from Lantana, Texas, in the Ford. Gino Morrow, of course, in the 16. I believe we already called him out there from Sacramento, Cali. Josh Conover from Ewing, New Jersey. And Nick Gallius coming from Lake City, Florida. Chris Papala, the lucky dog right now. Buffalo, New York. Not too far away from Dave Regal in Reading, PA. And then Adam Bowden, 2 laps down from Harmon, Maine. Not sure. Geography's not real great here in Arkansas. Justin Rodden from King Mountains, North Carolina. Got that one right. And then Don Day and Sky McGurk have taken it to the hauler. So they are not going to be a factor here. Oh, it's we're wrecking! Josh Conover. He's in the fence. Papa. Regal. I don't know who was involved, but let's take a look. Here we are, Josh Conover in the 18 machine. Gets up into the wall, and then that's just pandemonium from there. Bam! Helped over by the 8. I don't know who's in the 8 machine. Nick Gallius, I believe. Just flying through the air there. And Nick is destroyed. So Nick Gallius, unfortunately, he is caught up there. Let's go ahead and talk to somebody. What do you say? Let's talk to... Josh Conover was involved there, but he's not available. So unfortunately, it looks like Regal not going to get the lucky dog. Stuck back there. Chris Papa is going to take that around. But we have plenty of time, folks, and what's going to happen is we're heading to NASCAR overtime. So, you know what? I've got Dave Hunt with me. Dave, it's James in the booth. You got me.
I got you, James.
So, led the most laps here so far. I'm going to try not to jinx you, but it is what it is, brother. Coming to NASCAR overtime here at Daytona. Are you in the best spot up front?
No, not now. Rather be back in like second or third.
Yeah, I think I kind of knew the answer to that one. But what's your strategy in first place here heading into NASCAR overtime, knowing the position that you're in and knowing what you're going to have to do to take away a win here as it sits?
Probably looking in my mirror more than I'm looking forward.
Definitely. Well, Dave, man, again, most laps led, so you got that for you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end once you get the win here.
All right, sounds good, James. Appreciate it.
So there you have it, folks. That was Dave Hunt leading this thing around. Hoping to just try and drive as much as he can. We see him kind of killing the engine there. So what he's doing here is he's killing the engine, letting it get down to those RPMs. Save as much fuel as possible, as we do have a green-white checker that is going to use a little bit more fuel. Of course, Dave Hunt, Mike Hamlin, Chris Otto, Christian Roos, Greg Davidson in the 9 machine, Chris Papa, Gina Morrow, and then Dave Regal is going to be a lap down as well. So I don't know what's going on here as far as it's got some folks saying they're a little bit higher lap than Dave, but I'm not sure what's going on there. But Dave only 1 lap behind, so Dave obviously my favorite to win. A lap down with 3 laps to go, but it's overtime. You never know what's going to happen. So as they are the 1 to go, we're going to talk about overtime rules. What's going to happen is these guys are going to take the green flag. They're going to go 2.5 miles under green, or they're going to wreck. If they wreck, what's going to happen is they're going to re-rack them, restack them, throw the caution, try again, up to 3 times. If they do not wreck, then that white flag flies with 1 lap to go. What these drivers know is that this race is going to end no matter what. If we have a Ryan Newman incident, everybody has a crash and can't finish, guess what? This race is going to finish right then under yellow. But if the checkered flag flies, of course, it's going to be finished under checkered. But the big thing to take away, folks, is that it's going to be a green, white, checkered NASCAR restart here. Pace car is going to dive down pit road. The 53 electing to take the top line as the leader. Mike Hamlin on the bottom. Chris Otto, Christian Roos, and Craig Davidson. As here they go. Dave Hunt out to a huge lead. Trying to clear the 25 is going to do so, but they're going to have the advantage as the restart here. Buckled up, 28 and the 8. Showing the 7 of Chris Otto. Here they go. Taking it easy so far, relatively, with 2 laps to go. They know it's not now to pull the trigger, but if you're mid-pack here, Christian Roos, Gino Morrow, now's your time to make your moves with 2 to go as the 9 of Craig Davidson and that Spirit Airlines yellow machine trying to get some push from Christian Roos, but unfortunately, Dave Hunt and Mike Hamlin have been teamed up since the beginning of this thing, pushing the daylights out of each other as the white flag is in the air. Here it is 1 to go here at Daytona in the Midday Racing League. Dave Hunt, Chris Otto now. The 28, Mike Hamlin decided to pop out. He's going to do the best he can. 83, Adam Bowman is a lap car. 9's in the wall, 14's in the wall. No caution. Everybody keeps it straight. Dave Hunt wants to see that disorganization up there. But here comes Gino Morrow. Or the 13 of Chris Papa taking control of that top line as we come to the checkered flag here at Daytona. Dave Hunt, Chris Otto. Chris Otto pops out, but he was unable to get a big run. I don't know if he's going to have it here at Daytona as they come to the line. It is going to be a photo finish, wrecking behind him. Give it to Chris Otto in the number 8 machine, taking the win here at the Xfinity NASCAR Midday Racing League opener at Daytona. Wow. What a finish by the number 7 of Chris Otto as he brings it right to the checkered line here. I need to see that restart again. Here you see him running to the line. As it was too close to call, just about. Here they go. 53, just no help there. Papa trying to work in for a second. Bam! Chris Otto with the win. I'm sure he's burning it down. Let's take a look at our burnout cam. There it is, the 7 earning it. Absolutely fantastic run as they're going to park on the front stretch. He's going to show everybody in turns 1 and 2 why he earned it. So let's go ahead and talk to our race. Go ahead and talk to our race winner, Chris Otto, repping the number 7 machine. Maybe it was good luck that I took your number.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got in the session and I saw somebody with 7. I was like, what the heck? So I was about ready to message Christian until I went into the MDRL chat and saw that you joined and accidentally with a driver, and I was like, oh, I mean, okay, I suppose I can let it go this time.
Well, we may have to run it back, but of course I'm joking here. But you got the win at Daytona, pushing you were pushing Dave Hunt quite the bit for the majority of this race. What did it take to pull out and take that win for yourself?
Well, I mean, that restart, I knew we were just going to need to be in the right place at the right time. And I was kind of surprised Dave took the top. And but then when Mike went up, tried to pass him, I faked like I was going with him, and then went back down so that way he couldn't come back down too. And then that last lap, I was just on Dave's bumper, full throttle, not letting up, and then coming out of 4. I wasn't sure if I was going to get there. It was pretty hard to pass on the high side today, I felt like. And yeah, I just got to his right rear quarter panel and brought him back just enough to win the race. It was a lot of fun. These guys are really good racers, and it makes me pretty happy to be able to come away with one of these wins.
Absolutely. Here, after the name change, Course Midday Racing League, I did notice, and you were on the back bumper. You even said on the broadcast, I don't know if you got enough of a run up to pass the 53 clean coming out of 4, but absolutely fantastic job getting down there, throwing the e-brake with the side cushion there. So who you want to shout out? Who you want to thank? Who got you here in that number 7 machine?
I just want to Christian and everybody that makes this league possible, all the admins. RKR Motorsports, I got them on my car. They're a team I run with inside leagues, and I rep outside leagues and everywhere. They help me out. I've grown a lot since I joined their team, and they made me a better racer. So shout out to them and everybody there. And then yeah, just to you guys putting this show on so I can go back and watch it.
Definitely. We'll look forward to seeing you there and watching what a race you had. So Chris, again, man, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll talk to you next machine once they get you, or next week once they get you back in that 7 machine.
Yep, that's the plan.
All right, that was Chris Otto, as we appreciate the heck out of him. And who we got next? Of course, we've got the 2nd place finisher, Dave Hunt. Dave, long time no see, brother.
Hey, James.
So I know it wasn't heartbreak. 2nd place is not too bad, especially you knew your lot going into it. Tell us, what was in the decision to go with the top line?
I was trying to get in front of Mike again so he could push me like he was doing there, and I was trying to figure out what the best way to do that was, and I figured I could get a jump on him on the start, and it seemed to work.
Definitely. So you had the lead going into it. You had the opportunity to throw a block, but you elected to secure a 2nd place finish. How's that feel at Daytona, running all those laps in the lead and then coming in 2nd fiddle there?
I'd rather have that happen than me throw a block and everybody get wrecked. I'm not that kind of driver, so every time I see a block thrown like that, there's usually a huge wreck, and that's just not a fun way to end a race. So I congratulate all these guys racing here. Everybody did an awesome job.
Definitely, and you did an awesome job leading all those laps. So Dave, that's an investment in the future, right? not to upset anybody here at the last lap of the initial race.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Dave, tell me, who gets it done on that 53 machine? Who helped you lead the most laps here at Daytona today?
Well, first off, I got to thank my wife for giving me time to do this, and appreciate that. And my sponsor, Emory Riddle Aeronautical University, and all my family and friends and the fans out there watching.
Definitely. All right. Appreciate you, Dave. And again, man, congratulations on the 2nd place finish. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of the race next time as well.
Sounds good, James. Thank you.
All right. And then last but certainly not least, Chris Papa coming in after taking the lucky dog 3 laps before. How does this 3rd place finish feel?
I was basically playing with house money there, because out of the longest line, all you can really hope to do is just have a strong finish. And I got lucky. Things opened up for me, hammered down. I got a really good push at the end. I thought I was going to win it, to be honest with you, coming out of 4. But
yeah, definitely. When we were talking about it with Otto, how he was just so close to the 53 that coming out of 4, there wasn't really much of an option for a run up. And I'm sure, did that affect your position there?
I mean, I was totally content just being here on a podium, but I got such a great push that I felt obligated. If I didn't send it somewhere, I was going to get probably run over or knocked into somebody else. So I just smashed it. I found a little bit of a hole there, but probably it wasn't big enough, but just a little too late maybe to make a realistic move at it.
Definitely. That's the good thing about the sim, though. Once that checkered flag flies, nobody's real upset. here at Daytona. But taking the lucky dog, third place usually doesn't feel as good as I bet it does right now after clocking 60 or so laps, running with Dave there a lap down or close to it.
Actually, that really helped me out because the last time I drove one of these Xfinity cars was probably a year and a half ago, just based on the theme that I'm running on my car. I haven't used this paint scheme in almost 2 years. But I logged a lot of good laps back there with Dave, just kind of getting used to the car and the sight lines and not hitting the apron, which I was doing in the beginning quite a bit. So that actually really helped me out to feel a lot more comfortable in the car. I did get the lap lead bonus early, and then I kind of backed off a little bit, self-preservation and preserving the field. But running back there actually really helped me out, I think, quite a lot. And Dave was a really good partner to run with too. Shout out to him for letting me push him and getting used to what the car can do, take a push, get a push, how to hit those marks and everything.
Definitely. Well, man, again, congratulations coming back from adversity for the third place finish. And tell us who do you have on the car, first of all, and if it's outdated, tell me who got you here today.
Well, definitely not outdated. It's 1-3 Speed is the primary sponsor on this car. That's actually my business. I build and sell nice button boxes here right out of Buffalo, New York. And also on the car with me is First Page Media, which is also my company for digital marketing, SEO, web development, and e-commerce solutions. So those are my two primary sponsors that ride with me in everything I run, whether it's Pro 4s or sprint cars, asphalt, dirt, doesn't matter.
Definitely. Well, brother, awesome paint job on that 13 machine. Hopefully we can see it on the podium again next week.
I would love to see that personally.
There we go. Hopefully we'll talk to you then, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Chris Papa there in that 13 machine telling us who gets it done for him. And folks, as for us here at Sim Racing Media, it's about that time to let everybody go, let you get back to your work day, unfortunately. But hey, it's got to happen. Got to pay them bills as we go over the race results here for the Midday Racing League Xfinity Opener. Chris Otto, of course, coming in first. Dave Hunt second. Chris Papa coming in third. Craig Davidson in fourth. Gino Morrow and Mike Hamlin fifth and sixth. Then Christian Ruse finishing it out as the last car on the lead lap in the seventh there. Dave Regal in eighth. Justin Rodden in ninth. Adam Bowden there in 10th. Nick Geilis with the very unfortunate run there. He is in 11th. Josh Conover as well. Don Day, Sky McGurk. And hey, there's me, James Riles, there in the 7 machine on accident, stealing the 7 from Chris Otto. Chris, again, man, I do apologize for that. But that's going to do it for us here at Sim Racing Media. Appreciate the heck out of you. Smash that like button, all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we'll talk to you next week.